talked last week about the surprise release of R-Truth and how it seemed like they were scrubbing him from the internet and you know, presence and all this other kind of stuff. So first thing I gotta say, was this an elaborate work, or was this, you know, the shoot?
I don't know, man. I know a lot of people are saying it was for real, that he was let go, and then everybody in the world who was a wrestling fan was demanding him to come back. And so they folded and said, you know what, we're going to do something with him. But he probably said, yeah, I'll come back if you don't treat me as some kind of like shucking and jiving, you know, buffoon. A buffoon. And that's probably why he was like, I'm ending that stuff. I'm coming out here serious. I wouldn't be surprised they put that belt on him.
Yeah, because his son,
whose son?
Ron Killing's son, actually Twitter, or was it X or Twitter?
No, everybody calls it. I'm
gonna call it Twitter.
There you go. Go ahead.
Yeah, but he blasted Triple H, saying that this wasn't a work. You literally fired him, and now you're backtracking, trying to cover your ass.
I don't even know if that's PG.
Yeah, they backtracked. They definitely did, and now they look stupid because it's like okay, now we gotta like launch him to like upper status, like give him like, you know, a run. A lot of people don't know he was in TNA Wrestling. He was actually Ron the Truth Killings, and he actually won the NWA Championship while he was there. He actually had a good title run down there. A lot of people don't know about that, but it was pretty. Yeah, they had him not being how he is in WWE. He was actually he was a serious wrestler. He cut good promos. He actually had good matches. When he came back, they made him like a comedy act or not. If you can break Brock Lesnar and make him break character, you're doing something.
Playing devil's advocate here, right? It's everything lining up the way that it did. It seems very suspicious to say it wasn't a work, just because of how conveniently everything flipped back in WWE's favor by bringing him back in the quickness that they did do so.
For sure. And last week I had touched on it, you know, given the success that the WWE has had under Paul's control these last couple of years, it's only done well. So, you know, we'll wait to see.
Right.
And then who knew 2 days later we would have, you know, what we had. So I'm not as big into wrestling as you all are, but to me, I mean, one way or another, Paul made it work.
One thing you have to remember with this is this is the probably second person we've seen this happen with. Daniel Bryan went through the same thing.
Sure did.
He sure did. Kind of took over Raw one time because they wanted him as champ. Everybody in the crowd, all the fans, people in the back wanted him as champ, and they were like, "You keep screwing him over and screwing him over. We're just going to take over the show." So I think what you run into with this situation is they didn't want it to get to that Daniel Bryan level of, oh, damn, we messed up. So it's like, fix it quick. Because I don't think it was a work, only in the sense that he had a shirt that came out when he was on Saturday Night's Main Event. It was like Ron
Cena shirt.
Like that. Highest selling shirt. It was hot. They pulled that. Why would you pull something that you're clearly making money on unless you really got rid of this guy, you know, for a minute or whatever? And then the crowd was like, nah, man, bring him back. We want him back. And then they flipped it and he's heel now or whatever the situation. I think that's how they kind of fixed it. But I don't think it was a full work in the sense of, oh, yeah, we're just going to let him go and then bring him back, you know, in a couple of days versus, yeah, we messed up.
Okay, so the counterpoint to that, I would say, is what if this is next level committing to the bit, right? If you're going to pull off this kind of a bit, we're going to release R-Truth and all this other kind of stuff, because he had, correct me if I'm wrong, Simon says, he had come to Triple H and say, hey, man, I want to be a serious wrestler. If this is going to be my last go round with WWE, let me do it on a serious tip. Give me a real storyline. And if Triple H says, okay, let's work this out. We'll put you up with, get you involved with the Cena storyline. Then we'll unceremoniously fire you. We'll pull all your merchandise off, right? To trigger fan outrage. And then we'll bring you back in a surprise a couple of days later at the pay-per-view.
I mean, they could have did a storyline with just straight up like you're fired on the show. Or
I mean,
something.
that screams Vince McMahon.
This guy,
I know exactly, but
this guy Paul Levesque is on ChatGPT. How do we get our truth to rise above the ashes? And
I like that.
And it just gave him the full script. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, okay. All right. Well,
it's hard to say. I mean, it's like could have been a work. Yeah, could have not been a work. It's hard. I mean,
I seriously doubt it was a word.
But the T-shirt thing, that is because don't nobody like
have
messing
they
with
ever
the money.
gone that far with a work where
No.
they're pulling off merchandise?
no,
nobody like
absolutely
messing-
not.
Now you messing with the money.
Right, you messing with the money. But again,
Not a word.
if you won't commit to the bit, you got to go all in.
Yeah.
Hence the ChatGPT. It's like
Exactly.
Hey, it was like and pulled the shirts. And when Paul said, "Sell the shirts," and yes.
Okay.